Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. In today's video, we're going to talk about the one thing that's destroying our new Q50 and Q60s. And this only applies to the VR30 motors. So for you VQ guys and your 2.0T guys and hybrid guys, you're not going to have this issue. And this big issue is called the belt shredding issue. From the screeching to the noises, I'm going to put the sounds and pictures up right now. But while we're looking at it, right, this issue has been happening for quite some time since the early model 2016 Q50 come out. Now, to make this video very short and condensed, Infinity had came out with a TSB, a Technical Service Bulletin, where they state that early 2016 Q50s and early 2017 Q60s with the VR30 have been having this belt alignment issue, at which the AC compressor is misaligned. So one of the technical service bulletins is, if you are under this specific date, and one of the dates is if you're rear-wheel drive and you're built before September 7th of 2016, or if you're all-wheel drive, same thing, September 7th of 2016, and also for the all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Q60s between May 27, 2016, that you should be covered to have your, if you have any issues where that idler pulley, depending on the distance, on how far it is from the edge of the belt, they would have to realign your AC compressor, right? Now, any other cars that are built after that doesn't mean that you're immune to this issue. Not saying that, because I don't want Infinity to take it like, oh yeah, some random black dude from Brooklyn is talking about us, let's please send him a cease and desist. No, this video is actually just giving out the knowledge that it's public record, Infinity. So don't get upset with me and try to come at me, whatever the case might be. Because there's plenty of people's cars from 2017 and even 2018 that are having the same belt shredding issues. So in this video, I want to overlay some of the issues I've had with my own car and what other people around me have had when it comes to this belt shredding issues. So I want to break it down to 3 different things. So let's get into the video. But before I do it, guys, if you made it to this part, definitely, if you're new to this channel and I have a lot of Q50 Q60 comment, hit the subscribe button with that bell notification. I put a lot of videos out and a lot of information out for the Q50 Q60 community. Also check me out at Boost in Motion on Facebook and Boost in Motion on Instagram. But let's go. Alright guys, so I want to talk about the 3 different indicators that you may be having this belt squeal issue soon, or if you're actually having it and what you can do to alleviate it. Alright, so number 1, all of our cars come with an auto tensioner, right? So older model cars, you can adjust the amount of tension that's on the belt to keep it on the pulleys, right? With the auto tensioner that we have, it pretty much, you just put on the belt and the auto tensioner pushes against the belt and keeps it on the ribs or whatever the case might be. Now, there's indicators on that auto tensioner, right? And depending on where that indicator lies, it also lets you know how much this belt is starting to stretch. Alright guys, so coming from the indicator to the actual tensioner itself, the yellow part I have, that's the indicator. That's the part where it either goes to the green to the red. It goes in a clockwise motion. So the green is pretty much you're all good, you're good and set. And the red is where it's like, oh no, this belt is starting to stretch. And this, from what I've seen with other people's cars, this does exist. So this is where the wear marks would pretty much be for when the belt will start to stretch out of the green into the red. Some people start aiming into the red without having the noise. They may not get any screeching noises. But based on what Infinity is saying, you should change the belt out once it starts to be in that little part where the red is. So guys, take a look at your wear bar, depending on if you have high mileage. If you have a new one, you don't have to worry. But if you have over 10,000-15,000 miles and you don't hear the noise, just take a look at this. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes, guys. So let's continue. Now, you guys are a little confused. What do I mean by stretching? Well, the belt is made out of rubber and other materials, but over time, with the engine heat, with wear and tear, and depending on how much tension this tensioner puts on the belt actually stretches. So this is why I believe with people who have higher mileage, usually the belts end up popping because the belts start to stretch, right? And also, let me just share my own experience. I've changed my belt almost close to 15,000 miles on my own. And my indicator was actually a little bit past and going into the certain spot where it's starting to stretch a bit more. What I realized is that when I went to go pretty much take the tension off the belt, I had to use a 3/8 ratchet. It was maybe about 8 inches. And by hand, I couldn't get the tension down. I'm going down with gravity. So I had to get an extension, I would say about maybe 18 inches, put it on top of the ratchet, and then literally use leverage to push down the tensioner. And that to me is completely ridiculous. I have to use, what, 24 inches or 26 inches of pipe just to get the tension down. To me, I think that they preloaded that tensioner way too much. Now I don't go take this to infinity and say, oh God, boostinmotion said your tensions are too tight. No, this is just my assumption based on me working on cars and seeing how freaking hard it was just to get the tension off the pulley. But it could just be for me, may not be for you guys. But anyways, here's the second thing, right? The second thing is if you're getting a squealing noise between the RPM of 2 to 4,000 RPM, depending on how much gas you give it or how much acceleration you give the car. Make sure you got to turn the radio down to hear it, guys. And no, I'm not talking about the turbo spooling. You'll hear a screeching noise. Oh, and I know I played it before in the video, so I'll play it again just one more time if you guys forget. Also, you may even hear some of the screeching noise at idle. So, take a look at the indicator on the tensioner. Take a look, listen and see if you hear the squealing noise at idle or even at part throttle or good amount of acceleration from 2 to 4,000 RPM. All right. Now, the third thing is you have to look at. I don't say you have to, but because of the technical service bulletin, even though it applies to earlier models, doesn't mean it doesn't apply to you. So take a look and see how much that belt is to the edge of that smooth idler pulley. If it's right up on that edge and it's about to fall off, you may have a misaligned AC compressor. But I'm not saying that you should run and go do this, but you can bring this up to them because it is public public information. Like, hey, listen, this is what I read up. I took a look. It's making the belt is on the edge. Seems like it's about to slip off. I'm a little worried, and I read it here. Even though it doesn't apply to me, what do you guys think? You know what I'm saying? Also, on top of that, if it's already there, it may be making the squealing noises already. Or if you look at the indicator might show that it's already starting to stretch. So you have different causes on what you believe can actually lead up to this problem of your car pretty much stranding you out of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere. It's literally a thing that has happened to numerous people. I really wish I could sit there and say it was like 5 people happened to it. No, I'm in a Q50 Q60 group with almost over 20,000 people, and it's enough people that I know that it happened to, including some of my closest friends. And in my own case, just with the idea of the noise, of the squealing noise, what I did, changed it out in 5-10 minutes, squealing noise went away. Now, based on my TSB, my idler pulley is within spec. But based on the auto tensioner, it was showing that the belt was starting to stretch. And because these belts, I want to be very, very crucial about the whole belt issue. When I compared the old belt to the new belt, right, I realized that the new belt had a lot of felt material or protectant or something on it, where that the galleys or the gaps between each rib were very small. And once I put the new belt on, it was quiet, no squeaking. After about a few weeks now, I noticed that the grooves have gotten a little wider and a little deeper. So I assume over time the rubber starts to rub away or that protective felt material goes away. Wait, let me also speak about the back part of the belt, the smooth part. The newer belt had a lot of friction on it, a lot of rubber, right? And it's like a car tire. It wasn't slippery at all. But the old belt was very shiny and slippery. That could also add to why it was squealing so much, because the belt was starting to slip. But anyways, as my best assumption, my best opinion, as I want to condense everything together, if you have an early model Q50 Q60, I don't think our VR30 is going to have high mileage belts. So just change them out. belts are supposed to be changed out anyway. I would assume, unless they came out with a new part number, that the new belts maybe are better. But over time, I believe under 15,000 miles, these belts should just be changed, especially if they start squealing. If they start squealing, that is letting you know that sooner or later a lot of rubber or whatever the material is starting to rub away and it's starting to slip. Look at your indicator and see if the belt is starting to stretch, because those auto tensioners are very, 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 very spring preloaded. And also on top of that, the AC compressor thing, I don't really think it's necessarily an issue for the broad masses of our cars, but just to condense it with the indicator on the auto tensioner and the squealing noises, that's enough for you guys to just change your belts. It's a $50, $60 part. Get it done, get it done, get it done. But only do this if you're getting noises from the engine bay, those specific noises. And if you know that this is your first time having this car and you had it for like 15, 20,000 miles, take a look. But if you just got this car and it's brand new, you really don't have those issues. Just drive the car, but once you start hearing noises, definitely take a look at that. And also for you guys who are new to the channel or just watching this video because you're looking to purchase a Q50 or Q60, I don't want you guys to think that the VR30 is an unreliable motor. No, it's a pretty reliable motor. It's just that this one issue seems like it could be they're using the wrong material for the serpentine belt, or maybe an installation error or whatever, because when I looked at the old belt versus the new belt, I didn't even see, like, I couldn't even see the any wear marks, anything, and see if it was even the same belt. Never know, they might be using a different one. But otherwise than that, guys, I hope this video was very informative for you guys. I wanted to give you guys the best information that you guys needed. So this is boostinmotion. I'm signing out. You can contact me at boostinmotion on Facebook, boostinmotion on Instagram, and hit the like button if you make it to this part of the video. I put a lot of videos out for the Q50 and Q60 community, and I just try my best to help you guys and help you guys make the best decision you can if you're looking to come to this platform. And for my guys who are already in this platform, I want you guys to be able to maintain it. And shout out to all my VQ guys, because I know y'all just over there like, oh, another shredded belt, another one for the VQ. I already know it. But otherwise than that, guys, I appreciate you very much. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good night, and thank you so much. Love you guys. You have a good day.